You're watching Masters in Trading Live with Jonathan Rose.
Wow, this market is super strong. Guys, what's up everybody? I've been out this week, but now I'm back. My name is Jonathan Rose and welcome to Masters in Trading Live. I get on here every day the market's open, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Go over the market, share some thoughts. Once in a while, we'll share our trade of the day. I got the chat open. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. Give the video a thumbs up. Only 23% of the people that watch these is subscribed. So for the 75% not subscribed, it is time. Thumbs up, subscribe. We got a very cool show today. I got 3 topics, and here they are. We're going to talk about Ethereum. We're going to talk about oil, a really good oil trade that I like. And then we're going to talk about one of my favorite stocks. I call her QXO. QXO is her more formal name. Thank you guys. Welcome back. Super excited to be here. I just dropped off my kid at the Ohio State for his freshman year. Super excited. It's kind of surreal dropping off your kid in college. That's one out. We got one more left before we are empty nesters. Let's go over the slide deck. And again, I got the chat up like we do. We always have the chat up. Okay, let's get to it. Let me get my pen working. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Okay, if somebody, I don't need a laser pointer. Okay, so I was out for 3 days. Now, if somebody on the professional side, if I was trading professionally and I was out for 3 days and someone said, hey, JR, what happened this week? I'll tell you. What happened this week? If I was going to summarize this week, I would summarize this week right here because NASDAQ versus Russell, small caps, okay? So think of it. It's tech stocks versus small caps. From 2020, if we start them together and say on your mark, get set, go, the NASDAQ has been unbelievably strong relative to those small caps. But if I was to ask somebody, hey guys, I was out this week, what's the story of the week? Well, the story of the week is this trade right here. Finally, the Russell 2000 is starting to strengthen up relative to those tech stocks. As Powell starts to lower rates, and the immediate talk of lowering rates already put a bid under the small caps. But as this continues, the small caps will get strong relative to NASDAQ. So what did I do? Let's open up the Russell 2000, guys, and let's look at the top holdings, because if you're looking for stocks to buy, you want to look towards the IWM and the top holdings. So what do we have? CRDO. We love KTOS. KTOS is a name. 1.3% is KTOS. FN, IONQ, NXT, BE. If you want to be creative, if you want to get on the right side of the market, as rates go down, small caps will outperform. You can either look to buy the IWM or keep a list of the top stocks in the Russell and buy them on pullbacks. It's a really good strategy, and I think it'll be really profitable in the next 12 months. Next topic. Let's talk about Ethereum. Last week, I put out a whole bunch of videos on our ETHNAV monitor. What do we want to do? We want to look at the names BMNR, SBET, BTCS. We are looking at the value of their ETH treasury. BMNR owns 1.5 million ETH. SBET, 740,000. BTCS, 70,000. So we want to look at the value of the ETH treasury relative to the stock price. Now, all these names, guys, are going to move together. Look, this is SBET against BTCS. Look, they're moving together, but once in a while, my pen's a little sticky, so I can't write. But once in a while, they separate, and when they separate, that's when a trade can be found. If I go to the next chart and we look at BMNR, SBET, and BTCS, look how they're all moving together. But once in a while, they'll break apart. This is BMNR selling off relative to BTCS. So follow the three of those together. They're going to push and pull at one another. Next topic. I walked in to my Discord room this morning, and the first thing I said, why doesn't anyone like refiners? Refiners are looking good right now. How do I know that refiners are looking good? Well, let me take you to this chart. This yellow line right here is the profit margin of refiners. In order to create the profit margin of refiners, I have to do a formula that includes oil, RBOB, gasoline, and heating oil. That's not important. What's important is that this is the profit margin for these. So when this goes higher, the refiners are going to trade higher and catch up. Right now, if I just pull in the refiners, right here, oh, man, they're all pretty strong. They're all up a little bit. What's this purple one? PSX. PSX is definitely weak. I like PSX. PSX is up a little bit, but refiners, man, refiners should be bid. Often we talk about the creative trader wins. And when I talk about being creative, I talk about trades like this. I talk about trades like this. We are looking for opportunities. So profit margin right here, right out. It's taking out its high. You notice how the refiners are not taking out their high. The refiners are inexpensive right now. I got a question. Bruce, what's up, buddy? If ETH doesn't bounce as expected, do you plan to let the BMNR options expire worthless? Or would you consider cutting losses? I don't trade with stops, guys. Before I get into trades, the way that I teach, and it's a great question, and I'll show you an example with Lyft because I love Lyft. September 28th, right now, these 16.5 calls, this is not a trade recommendation. I'm just an example. They're trading for $1, right? If I want to risk $1,000 on this trade, I could buy 10 of them. Then I'm risking $1,000 for 28 days. I'm not trying to only lose $300. I'm risking $1,000 to potentially make a whole bunch of money. So before I get into the trade, I want to decide how much do I want to risk. Too many people will get in a trade for $1,000 and then they'll say, oh, I only want to lose $500. So they'll stop themselves out, they'll run out of the trade, and then they'll see the trade turn around in their favor. I want you to decide what you're comfortable risking before you get into the trade. And then you slap the trade on, and then it's out of your hands. You can't control the market. The market's going to do whatever the market does. That's why we make those decisions before we get into a trade, so there's not the psychological side effect of the market and you trying to preserve whatever money you have left in a trade. Hopefully that makes sense, Bruce. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's talk about QXO. Another one of my favorite trades out there. Here's a trade that I've been talking about for the last couple of months. And it's called QXO. Here's my QXO acquisition. Okay? All of these names, I think that QXO is going to consolidate the industry and buy. And it's not going to buy everything, but because they are trying to consolidate the industry, in my opinion, everything should rally. So, watch. I originally shared a document that talked about QXO, public company acquisition targets. BXC, 600 million market cap. Now it's got a 670 market cap. GMS was already bought. QXO and Home Depot had a $5 billion bid for GMS. Home Depot ended up winning. Site was $6 billion. It's now $6.5 billion. And then BLDR. So here's the consolidation that I expect in the building industry. QXO, I think, will make an effort to acquire all of these, actually. Maybe not Builder because it's a $15 billion market cap. But we are bullish. QXO and also the names that could potentially get bought. I love this trade. That's what I got for you guys. I'm excited to be back. If you haven't yet tried the challenge, investorplace.com/challenge. It's the cheapest way to get into our community. You can get in for under $100. And this is where I believe I could teach anybody how to trade options within 7 days. Okay? What I always do now, guys, is I switch over to our all access community. In our all access community, I'm going to go over our open positions. We don't have very much to do. We're pretty light, but let's go over our open positions and talk about them. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for joining. Everybody in all access, you guys hang tight. We'll be right back.